Welcome to the next episode of Beautifully You. Today we're going to be speaking all about speaking. So, the verse that we're going to focus on is Ephesians 4, verse 29. Do not let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouths, but only what is helpful for building others up according to their needs, that it may benefit those who listen. Again, that was Ephesians 4, 29, which will be our focus for today's episode. The way you speak to people can be a passion in disguise. We don't realize if we're social that that's our hobby. You enjoy talking to people, you enjoy going out and meeting new people, just the whole 9 yards of being an extrovert. I want to focus in on how we speak to people and how that relates and affects how we speak to God in our prayers. Too many times do we get ahead of ourselves and we don't like something that somebody says, or maybe we're just not in the right headspace and we're kind of having a nasty attitude towards somebody and we just go off. We don't think, we don't take time to realize that what we're going to say will hurt somebody. Words are so fragile, but they are also so dangerous, which is why we have to be so careful in what we say. The way we speak shows people the kind of life that we live. So if you're speaking in a way that is ugly, or if you say things to people that you're close to a lot and they start to kind of back away from you and they're like, I don't really like talking to them, it's probably because the way you are speaking is inappropriate, is hurtful, and you need to come to Jesus. You need to come back, bring it to God, and let Him help you in how you speak. The flip side of that is there are so many people who are so kind and so loving, and that's because they talk to Jesus more than just daily. Maybe it's hourly, but it's more than just for meal prep, for before we're going to eat, we're going to pray. It's more than that. I know I've touched on that a little bit in other episodes before. We can't be forgiven and we can't forgive other people if we don't allow God to come in and help us with that transition of forgiving. That doesn't mean you have to forget what was said. You don't have to forget how they hurt you, but we have to allow God to come in and help us forgive. We have to put that effort in because He can't forgive us if we don't forgive them. But like I said, it's not about forgetting. It's about allowing God to basically say, you're right. That was not okay. We're going to forgive them, but you and I both know there was a different way they could have gone about that. It's about keeping God on your team. He always is on your team, but make that connection with Him and make sure that when you speak to God, you're speaking to God the same way you speak to other people. You want to be polite, you want to be loving, you want to be straightforward, and you want to be honest. In your prayers, God is your best friend, and you can talk to Him like you're on the phone and you're just going on and on. A lot of times when I'm driving, I won't have yes, there's a lot of, dear God, thank you for this, and thank you for giving me this, and thank you for the time of being able to be with so and so. But today, whenever I was driving, I literally said, I was like, I'm gonna rant. I was like, God, I'm just gonna rant for a minute. I'm stressed out. School starts next week, and I just don't know how I'm supposed to handle this. Like, it's okay to talk to Him like that. Like I said a few minutes ago, the way you talk to other people should quite literally reflect how you talk to God. They're going to notice, oh, they have a different way about going about situations that stress them out, or they don't use bad language. If you're using bad language, no one's listening to you. Where I work, there are some people who say about potty words, and I just don't appreciate. It quite literally makes my ears hurt. I'm like, if you're gonna say a bad word, please, please, please go over there. Like I can't listen to that. And I had a coworker ask me, well, we're all just gonna die eventually. Why do you care? I care because when I die, I'm going to heaven because I don't say those bad words. I don't let the way other people speak affect how I speak. I look directly at the Bible. I see how my God spoke. I see how Jesus spoke to other people. And I know that I want to be more like him. So I'm trying my best to speak to you the way that Jesus would want me to speak to you. Is it a struggle? 100%. We are human. We're going to struggle with confrontation to others whenever they're doing something that Jesus wouldn't approve of. But we're not sent here to placate and to appease people because their feelings get hurt. I do not care. If Jesus hurts your feelings, you might want to change how you're living. Now, I'm getting a little up in my feelings about all this, but I'm being so genuine when I say this to whoever is listening, no matter what age you are, no matter what point in life you are, you're never too far gone to change how you speak to people. People want to feel the love of Jesus through you. And that's why I'm making this show. I want this show to be a comfort to you guys, to make y'all feel like the love of Jesus is radiating in this world. It's so easy to get distracted. And if you go to school, you go to work, and there's that bad language everywhere, and it gets in your ears, and the music you listen to, and the shows you watch. I know some of y'all hate to hear this, but yes, the language you listen to in your free time affects the language that you say when you're interacting on your day-to-day basis. That bad language did not come from nowhere. It's also not to be dismissed. I grew a garden a couple months ago, and it grew beautifully. I had so many sprouts, but terrible, terrible, terrible weather came, completely destroyed every single one. That's that bad language coming in. All right, let's move to what happened after that. We started to get a lot of sun. We started to get a little bit more rain, some healthy weather, and more sprouts started coming back. Do you know why? Because that's that imagery. If you are focused and you're grounded in the soil of God and you're speaking the way Jesus intended for you to speak, you are going to grow after that storm of people come through your life and you're trying to help them so hard. And it may seem like your one little root that you have isn't enough. Let me tell you, when that storm fades away and that rainbow comes over across that sky and that sun comes back beaming, your sprout is going to grow back stronger than ever, and you're going to be seen by God on Judgment Day because you stood up for what was right in the Bible, what Jesus said was right, the way he lived, what God sent us here to do was to speak nicely. It's not hard to speak nicely to other people. I do not care how hard your day was because God doesn't either. A potty word is not going to be accepted on Judgment Day whenever you said, oh, well, I had a bad day. No, ma'am, I don't care. On a bad day, why aren't you speaking in prayer? Why aren't you praying about it? Why aren't you connecting to God on those bad days? The challenge that I give to you guys this week, find things to pray about whenever you're anxious, whenever you're angry, whenever you're going through those struggles. You feel like you just want to lash out on somebody. Why don't you stop for a minute and pray? Speak to God. Have that calm moment and watch how it transforms, because it goes vice versa. The same way that the way you speak to others affects your prayer life, the prayer life affects how you speak to others. You start to have this calmness. You have this connection to God, and you're like, wait a minute. He's listening to me, and I don't have to yell. No, you don't have to yell. You have to sit there, and maybe you're not saying anything. Maybe you're just sitting in silence. you and God, and maybe that's all you needed to calm down. But just make it a point to notice how you speak to people. It goes a long way. You're going to go a long way. You're going to grow like that seed after that storm. Your root is strong in God. And I love to see how many people I've had this conversation with to agree and then some about how much their prayer life has changed how they interact with people. Because if you can't be nice in your prayers, how are you speaking to other people? Which is why I say, talk to your friends, talk to your family like Jesus is sitting right next to you. Because guess what? He is. Oh, but I don't see him. Yeah, I promise you, he is sitting right next to you, holding your hand through those tough conversations, getting you through those tough situations. You're struggling. Maybe you're not struggling. Maybe you're happy about something and you're doing great in life and somebody's just not supportive. You got a God sitting right next to you who is over the top supportive of you. And what more could you ask for than that? Make sure that the way you talk to other people represents the fact that you are a child of God. Represent Jesus Christ daily in the way that you walk. And always know God loves you. I love you. And I will see you guys in the next episode of Beautifully You.